My name's Jordan Chenefield. Trail name is Trucker. I'm a member of the Georgia Appalachian Trail Club. We're the trail maintaining club of the Appalachian Trail here in Georgia. We maintain the 72 miles of the AT in Georgia, plus another 50 miles of intersecting trail with the AT. It's a big job and a responsible job, but we want to share some ideas with you about how you can help us take care of this incredible place that we have here in the North Georgia mountains. Big part of that job, of course, is leave no trace. And there are 7 principles of leave no trace. Now, you might think that leave no trace means just not littering. Well, that is an important part of it, but there is more to it. And we're going to talk about those 7 principles of leave no trace during this video. Also, at the end of this video, there's going to be some 10 good ideas, essentials, we call them, of having a good hike. And so we want to share those 10 essentials. So stay tuned at the end of this video. But here's some trash. Want to get that out of the way. Pick it up. Put it in our trash bag. But leave no trace means more than just not littering. It means plan ahead and prepare. That's actually the first principle. Plan ahead and prepare. It, of course, means know where you're going. Very, very important. Let somebody know what time you're going to be back. If you're not back by a certain time, should they call search and rescue? Make sure that you have cell service with somebody at the far end. Where is it going to be safe to park your car? So those are a couple of ideas. But among others, check the weather conditions. Out here in the North Georgia mountains today, we have a beautiful blue sky day, but tomorrow it could be raining or even snowing. Know what the trail conditions are as well. Those trail conditions can change in a minute. Here in Georgia, we have the Appalachian Trail goes anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 feet. So do expect changing weather conditions. Dress appropriately. Yeah, right now, that breeze is coming up, so I'm going to zip up before I put my pack back on. Decide how far you're going to hike. Know what your water sources are. Here at Justice Creek, we have a good water source, but know where they are along the way. And then emergency gear. Have a backpack, hiking kit, have a first aid kit, of course, but again, those 10 essentials too. Good planning leads to good preparation. And good preparation means knowing where you're going, how long you're going to be out overnight, how you're going to store your food, and your toilet options. The second principle of leave no trace is travel and camp on durable surfaces. Now, traveling on durable surfaces means staying on the trail. Here we have an example of a social trail that is not traveling on durable surfaces. Up at the top of the hill, those are the Justice Creek tent pads. One of our trail members is up there, and you can see how folks have cut down this social trail. What that does is it leads to erosion in the creek and actually uses a lot more energy than sticking to the trail. Here in the North Georgia mountains, the Appalachian Trail is in the National Forest, Chattahoochee National Forest. And so dispersed camping is permitted, but best practices says you're going to camp at a designated camp spot like we have here at Justice Creek. So here we have a good example of camping on durable surfaces. You can see these designated camp spots, they're prepared for you, they're firm, they're close to the creek, but not right on the creek. In fact, that's one of the beauties of camping right here. You can hear that creek in the background. Out here on the Appalachian Trail, you want to make sure that you're following the next principle of leave no trace, and that is dispose of waste properly. Now here at the Gooch Mountain shelter that we're at, and at all the shelters here in Georgia, we actually have privies. But what happens if you're out here in the woods and you need to go? Well, first thing, you want to make sure you're at least 80 paces away, at least 80 steps away from a shelter. 80 steps away from the trail, and of course 80 steps away from any water source. You're going to need this, and very important, this. This is a trowel. We suggest using the cat hole method. You dig a hole 6 to 8 inches deep, do your duty, and then actually pack out the toilet paper. Some studies have shown that toilet paper in some soil conditions can take up to 3 years to decompose. Also, if you're out hiking with your dog, make sure you pick up after your pooch as well. Nobody wants to step in any poop out here any more than they want to in the city. And while we're talking about waste, make sure that if you have oatmeal in the morning, your ramen noodles in the afternoon, make sure you clean that up really good. You've got it in your pot, put a little extra water in there, swish it around, and then drink it. It's going to get the rest of those nutrients for you, as well as giving you some hydration. What you definitely don't want to do is just dump it into the fire pit or something like that. That's going to draw rodents, mice, maybe even bears to this area, and we don't want that to happen. Instead, take it with you, pack it out, whatever's needed. Also, here at Gooch Mountain Shelter, there is a water source. What you also don't want to do is take it to the water source, wash it, and swish it around in there. Again, that's going to attract animals and birds and things like that, rodents, mice. We don't want to do that. It's also going to cause contamination of that pure water. So pack it out if you're not going to finish it. The next leave no trace principle is minimize campfire impacts. Now, of course, that means, first of all, build a campfire only at a fire ring. Here at the Gooch Mountain Shelter, we have a fire ring. We also have tent pads throughout. We don't want to build campfires out in where all the tent pads are, but rather use this area to minimize that campfire impact. Also, make sure that you check with the Forest Service before you come out into the woods, whether it's here in North Georgia or wherever you might be. There could be conditions that would be conducive for wildfires or anything like that, so we don't want that to happen. What you want to do also with this fire ring is use firewood that's no thicker than your wrist. You can see here, somebody's tried to burn a big log, big wood and things like that. It just doesn't burn that well. Also, if you build a fire, you own that fire. So whatever you do, make sure that you tend that fire and it is out. Make sure you have plenty of water to douse that fire. And for goodness sake, please don't try to burn the trash. Again, what that does is it draws rodents, mice, chipmunks, could bring bears, probably not, but it could. But you don't want to draw those rodents and other nasty creatures to the shelter where everybody's staying. And the next principle of leave no trace is respecting wildlife. Well, that should be a no-brainer. You can respect wildlife using the rule of thumb. You can, if you can't cover it with your thumb, you're too close to it. But another way to respect wildlife is your food storage. Here at the Gooch Mountain Shelter, we have a lot of choices. One is bear cables, and those are very, very easy to use. We also have a bear box. Now the bear box, of course, is not to be used for trash. Makes sense. Pack out your trash. But it is very secure so that bears won't become habituated to this area. And the third choice would be, of course, and you may want to make it your first choice, is a bear canister. Bear canisters are very effective at removing and ensuring that bears don't come into this area. The Georgia Appalachian Trail Club does have a bear canister loan program, and you can check that out on our website. And the next principle of leave no trace is leave what you find. The important thing about that is leave what you find for other people. Also, berries and things like that, leave those behind for the animals that are out here. That's their nutrition. But if you see flowers along the way, and in fact just a few weeks, this area will be covered in beautiful flowers. Instead of picking those flowers, take a picture. That's much more long-lasting, and you'll be able to enjoy that. In other areas of the country, you may find cultural artifacts, petroglyphs, pictographs, things like that. Take a picture of those. Whatever you do, please don't deface them. Leave what you find. The seventh and final principle of Leave No Trace is be considerate of others. When we're hiking in the North Georgia mountains, we want to enjoy the beauty of the silence, hear this pretty creek here at Blackwell Creek. Be considerate of others. And then all of a sudden somebody comes along, they've got loud music blaring, they've got their dogs off leash. They may have a big group that's hiking along, loud talking and everything like that. Are they breaking any rules? Well, not exactly, but they're not being considerate of other people either. So thanks so much for joining us today on the Georgia section of the Appalachian Trail as we talk about the 7 principles of Leave No Trace. First of all, plan ahead and prepare. Travel and camp on durable surfaces. Dispose of waste properly. Leave behind what you find. Minimize your campfire impacts. Respect wildlife. And be considerate of others on the trail. So thanks so much for joining us today. There are many other resources for learning more about Leave No Trace. Georgia Appalachian Trail Club has a section on their website, and of course the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, appalachiantrail.org, and of course the Leave No Trace Center for Outdoor Ethics, lnt.org. And please consider joining the Appalachian Trail Club as we protect, preserve, and maintain this beautiful Appalachian Trail here in Georgia.